I think when I sat down to do this video, I was going to tell you how excited I am for WWE 2K22 and that you should pick it up because the game just hits differently. But then I went, you're not being paid to market this game. Be honest with your fans. It's come to my attention as WWE 2K22 is out. There are a lot of people that are stuck in my shoes who do not have PS5 and Xbox Series X, that don't have next gen, that are stuck on PS4. So on this channel, until I get one of those consoles, I am going to be making WWE 2K4 PS4 content edit. I'm not going to edit that, I'm too lazy. 2K14. Can I be honest? I'm so caught up and I miss 2K14. I don't know if the game was ever good, in my opinion, because I made money playing it. If it was good or bad, because I put entertainment into it. Those people that have came back to my comments, and here are some of the comments I'm going to throw up on screen. Thank you so much if you're coming back after 10 years. You do not have to feel bad because YouTube unsubscribed you, you stopped watching. There's an algorithm for a reason. There are reasons you stop doing things in life. When people stop providing what you need, you move on. And WWE 2K never stopped providing me what I loved. Even though the fans went away and they went to other creators who found ways to be innovative with the content, there was one thing deep down we all knew. That I was one of the best to ever lace up the boots. I was a WWE 2K17 champion, and I've lived on that pedestal for many years. Now, that was a competition that people like Chris Danker and Pulse to this day, okay, they don't. I still say it to this day because I'm still thinking about the fact that I am a champion. And when you're a champion, you relive those days. They didn't even bother entering. But here's the thing, there are so many of us that are stuck on PS4. There are so many of us that don't have next gen, that are either on PC or... We're stranded. We need a voice. We need somebody to lift us up, to prop us up, and I am that guy for this community. I am going back to the fun. And it's pretty ironic because if you were a fan of me 10 years ago, you would know I had a huge bias towards Xbox 360. And I hated the PS3 because the invite system sucked and everything about it did. But at this point, I don't care the system. I care about the people. Numbers don't matter. People do. And the only person that matters right now used to be this guy in the WWE. This guy's Brock Lesnar. You know, when I was coming up on YouTube, there was one guy I could never beat. ItsMyYard, and I thought I wanted to train to be a wrestler, a video game player. I went so far as to become the reigning, defending WWE 2K17 champion. But I never beat anybody. I didn't beat ItsMyYard. I never put anything on the line, and you know what? I think it's time. I think it is time that I make my return to the ring. I think it's time we play online lobbies with people. I think it's time we bring back the mission of fun on this channel. We stop complaining when the devs don't do something you don't like. Because here's the thing, I don't care. And you shouldn't either. It's a video game, man. If you ain't have friends, let's make some. Let's start a community to find people to play online that'll actually fill these lobbies. Because so far, brother, I'm having a hard time. But let me be honest with you. A lot of things have changed in the last 10 years. This Brock Lesnar figure, and ItsMyYard, used to be a thing. Now, ItsMyYard, for anybody that doesn't know, is one of the most feared and reveled players of all time. When I used to play, we used to do 3-on-1 matches against him, and he would find a goddamn way to win. He was the crash test dummy himself. He's the one that put in all the effort, the time, the dedication, learned the movesets, the in and outs. Used those crash test dummies to have a psychological advantage over any opponent. And he was not one to be reckoned with. But you know, as time moves on, the funny thing about time is people get older. Yard lost his focus just like I did from this channel, but at the end of the day, there's somebody that deep down they see what others have and they want it and they're willing to work harder for it. Hell, they're even willing to sell out and join the corporation that they busted their ass for the last 5 years to make it to the pinnacle. We're all talking right now about a WWE license leaving the video game and going to EA, but there's somebody that went from EA to 2K and it went the other way around. Somebody that knows the pitfalls of EA, somebody that knows what did him in, or somebody that just deep down knows what it would take to reach out to the people that play your game and love it, to grow that bond, that connection. Somebody that showed you a new way in life to look at things. Somebody that you were not there for them in the hardest moment of their life because you were dealing with their own shit and you still don't know how to bring it up to them. Somebody that deep down, since the moment you met him and talked to him, there was just something you recognized in greatness inside of them. But for some reason, you were not at a place in your life to be able to capitalize that on follow through on anything you ever set your mind to. But the funny thing about time is it keeps moving on, and people get older and they get wiser and they get smarter. And there's people like Brock Lesnar who lose focus, who aren't willing to put in the work anymore. And I've had this figure unboxed for a long time. But sometimes you need to tear down the walls. Sometimes that new competitor that steps up, that aligns when all the stars heading into WrestleMania season bring you back to your former glory. Somebody that is your tribal chief that you're willing to put on a pedestal and back harder than anybody you've ever backed. And that man is Cornell Gunter, the tribal chief of WWE 2K Games. Now, I'm representing PS4. I'm sure he has one. I'm sure he can get the game on PS4, but he's going to be elsewhere. You're going to have to build, you're going to have to train, you're going to have to learn to beat him. You guys always used to tell me how good you were at the game. Well, this is your chance, this is your opportunity, because when I come back, we're not just doing what we used to do. See, It's My Yard. There's one good thing he did. He created game shows. He pitted people against people to prove they were better. But he did it in a fun way, and I've always been inspired. So on this comeback journey, this first video is dedicated to It's My Yard. I love you, man. You really were the pinnacle of what it was to be a WWE Games creator. Now, as a good guy, I came in, and we were buddy-buddy. I eventually overtook you and made you irrelevant. Well, you suffered and barely had 100,000 subs. Well, now I'm at 214, barely moving, and I'm just as irrelevant. But you still try to be. And you know what? If you think you can be relevant, I think we need to go down a challenge. See, I think we need to pit the boys against each other, but I don't want to just give away the money match now. No. I think the fans need to get involved. The fans need to be a part of this. We need to have some stakes in the game. We need to let them be a part of it. We need to hold ourselves on our own little contest, our own little tournament, our own last man standing to see if there is anybody worthy of standing up to the tribal chief or the wannabe that was Brock Lesnar. Because like a shell of your former self, deep down, I know what you're capable of. Now, you're not capable of beating Cornell now, nor will you ever be able to be. But Yard, there's nothing wrong with being second. So join my stable. Together, Cornell Gunter, me, Eric Emmanuel, and you, It's My Yard. The power team. You're going to shake hands. You're going to take that Wardlow deal. And hell, this is a wrestling business, kid. I expect you to turn on him down the line at some point. Whether it's today, tomorrow, a year from now, I know a true snake when I see one. And Yard, you want it as bad? Well, you know what? I think Cornell would respect the hustle. It's a WWE Games community. Stand up. It's time to deliver. Remember those lobbies we had with hundreds of people watching, wanting a chance to get in? This is your opportunity to play with the greatest WWE 2K Games player I've ever seen in my lifetime. I am the special counsel. But just like a true SEO god, I have a backup right alongside. Because Cornell works for the corporation. There could be circumstances where he's not able to compete and it's going to look like he's running from a challenge. I may have to have a backup horse step up, but it doesn't matter. You guys all said you could play, but I've not seen you guys beat him yet. And if you have, I've not seen it on social media or any proof of it. Now, I'm not saying anybody's going to get DMCA strike now that we have an inside track, but, I mean, your proof better be legit. Fight fair. Once you're champion, though, you got to learn to stay on top, and that's a lesson JBL taught a lot of people. So welcome to the new WWE Games community philosophy. Step up. Give it a shot. Just know you will acknowledge him. Even if for years I didn't. His name is Cornell Gunter. And he's going to kick your ass in WWE 2K.
Problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems.